Twerking is considered a dance that involves the female bending over and shaking her behind. It's almost exclusively done by females, and it's real simple to do. They put their hands on their knees, arch around their back spastically, and bounce their behinds real fast. Anybody can do it, but I guess some girls are better at it than others. But should they be doing it at all? Are you okay with females of any age twerking in public, anywhere, and at any time? I probably sound old and uptight criticizing twerking, but I don't care. Twerking is closely related to hip-hop, and this channel is dedicated to the defense and further deterioration of the culture, so I gotta address it. It's crazy because I had this topic already locked and loaded to discuss about 2 weeks ago, and I actually was going to do another video, but the story came out about the little boy getting upset seeing his mom twerking and throwing it back to some dude at a party, and it was like a sign for me to touch on this topic first. As a man, you probably would expect me to get all excited about the prospect of watching or partying with a female and she starts twerking. Now, don't get me wrong, I believe there's a place and a certain context for it. And I'll admit that I've engaged in it with a female many times. And I'll be the first to admit it was very explicit. I didn't ask for it to happen, and usually men don't ask for it to happen. It's usually the result of a certain song that goes along with the twerking and alcohol. It's like when these certain songs are played, twerking is required. It's how it's linked to the music. I would say Miley Cyrus popularized it and brought it to the dominant mainstream culture, who always think they're doing something new. Of course, we in the Black and Hispanic communities knew about twerking for about 25 to 30 years. The term twerking came from down south as far as I remember. Correct me if I'm wrong. I remember hearing the term in relation to booty shaking music, like 2 Live Crew and Luke Skywalker, or Uncle Luke as he was known back then. I'm talking mid to late 90s. I mean, the dance, and I'm going to use the term loosely here, was already out around that time, and we saw girls doing it on certain rap videos from down south. Not long after, we started hearing the term twerking from rappers from down south like Juvenile and them to describe the dance, and it's been called that ever since. Up north, the most common place you would see some twerking back then would be in a strip club, and I'm just keeping it a bean with you. I mean, back then, you might be in a party and a girl dancing with a guy, you know, she might turn around. I don't want to get too explicit in my descriptions, but you get it, right? It wasn't until those booty shaking songs reached the clubs up north that girls up north started emulating how they saw girls on the videos dancing. Think about it. You need a fast beat to twerk to. Music up north was too slow to twerk to. So it was like women would be standing around, dancing normal, all night. Then all of a sudden they hear, "Don't stop, pop that T, let me see you doo-doo brown." All of a sudden the dance floor is crowded with chicks bent over with their tongues hanging out and a bunch of horny dudes trying to take advantage of the situation, because as soon as that song goes off, they go back to normal. This was going on in nightclubs and bars back then with consenting adults and no kids around. The problem is now everybody's twerking and it's everywhere. As soon as Miley Cyrus did that performance on that award show that night with Robin Thicke, it was introduced to the mainstream. It was disgusting in my opinion. Before you know it, everybody was doing it and it was acceptable. Little girls and old ladies twerking, and it was supposed to be cute and funny. Yo, it's perverts out here looking at little girls, getting all kinds of ideas. And some people think it's cute when little 8-year-old Shaniqua starts twerking at the block party. You sexualizing the youth with that, and you asking for trouble. The truth is, twerking is degrading and inappropriate if taken out of its context, which it usually is nowadays. I think most women make a spectacle of themselves doing it at the wrong time and with the wrong audience. Tongue wagging, eyes closed, bent over like an oversexed vixen, putting on a show. I've had this conversation with several women before, and they always categorize it as, oh, we just having fun. Well, not to offend, but you gotta act like a 304 to have fun? I mean, do the kid and play kick step, you wanna have fun. Put your hands in the air, you wanna have fun. Bounce in place like the niggas do when the booty shaking songs come on, you wanna have fun. That's what they do. They ain't twerking. They waiting for your dumb ass to bend over so they can briefly take advantage of you. Women think it's cool to entice men with that kind of stuff, but when the man takes it the wrong way or wants to take it further because he took it as more than just a dance, now you in trouble. There's another negative result that can come from a chick out here twerking somewhere she ain't got no business. Women, when you out here twerking, just know we ain't looking at you like, yeah, I want to get serious with her. We thinking about one thing to do with you. Now, I mean, if that's your goal, then mission accomplished. But if you're looking for a guy to take you serious, you don't want to be the loud, nasty one out here bent over with your tongue hanging out like Miley Cyrus. It's not a good look. And going back to the little boy upset with his mom and the guy she was twerking all over. The little boy is a YouTuber, and apparently him and his mom was at a party with a whole bunch of other YouTubers. The guy his mom was twerking on was also a YouTuber, I believe. Check out the video for yourself. But the little boy walks over and pushes his mom and the dude to stop her embarrassing behavior. The little boy started crying and everything, and the mom thought it was so funny. She just sat there laughing. The guy getting twerked on looked confused, like he didn't understand why the boy was upset. I felt bad for the little boy. No one took up for him. No one consoled him. He just stood there wiping his tears. He was crying because he was embarrassed. He was embarrassed because twerking is sexually explicit and no one wants to see their mom out there doing that. I don't know what was on his mom's mind, but she better know her son probably lost some respect for her that day. I'm afraid to know what else she does in front of him that she thinks is okay. Similar to this situation, if you're in a relationship, women, most men don't want to see their chick out there making a fool of themselves. Even if you're dancing with your dude and the booty shaking songs come on, please try to resist the urge to make a spectacle of both of you. You'll probably be a little tipsy, but try to resist the urge, I'm telling you. Going back to Miley Cyrus and her performance on that award show that night. You know why I was offended? Because if I remember correctly, she came out there with all black backup dancers, dressed provocatively and clown-like, shaking their booties. Molly was the only white girl. I read that on a few levels. Like, look at me, I'm partying with the black chicks, and this is how they dance, because they're stereotypically oversexed freaks. I'm dancing like them. I got this from them. Or I looked at it from the level like, look at little Miss Missy. She done went down to the hood and discovered something quote unquote new that the natives was doing. She gonna take it from the jungle to the mainstream, and now what was once a dirty little dance done by the darkies, it's an acceptable and fun dance done by the whole family. Molly put her stamp of approval on it, so it's all good now. So go ahead, Granny, bust a move. It felt like she was exploiting what she thought was black culture, but it isn't. It's stripper culture that should be left in the strip club. But here we go again. Take the most negative or controversial elements from the black community and glorifying it. Like that's all we're about. Just like sagging jeans and tattoos across your stomach. That ain't black culture, that's jail gang culture. But now it's equated to black culture. The wild thing is, it all kind of backfired because almost every race now gets to see their women make fools of themselves because when twerking hit the mainstream, women all over caught the bug, and it's gotten bad. You may have seen the video of the young white chick trying to call twerking a spiritual ritual, where women unleash the trauma when they shake and their hips release energy that makes them one with the universe, and when they bend their knees they become closer to the earth and homostasis and blah blah blah. It's one of the craziest things I've ever seen in my life, and the comments to the video are hilarious. I saw another story of a young white girl who wasn't allowed to walk at graduation because she was twerking at the senior dance. Her and her simple ass mom got on the news crying and complaining, talking about they weren't doing anything bad, they were just dancing. The mom was like, I was standing right there. They played the video and the girl was literally grinding on the back of another girl who was bent over twerking. Again, they looked very stupid. But why did they think it was okay to do this at a high school event? Why did the mom think this was okay? And this is not an isolated incident. There are a lot of stories out there of girls getting in trouble at school, missing graduation, having scholarships revoked, missing out on job opportunities because they out there twerking in public and it gets posted on social media and everybody sees them making a fool of themselves. Look, I get the concept of women, quote unquote, claiming their sexuality and sexual freedom. Oh, they're just having fun. But look, don't get tricked into doing things in the name of sexual freedom that can come back and bite you. Okay, you're sexual, you're free, we get it. What you gotta prove to anyone? You'll gain more when you respect yourself and move with class, tact, and civility. On the Public Enemy album, Fear of a Black Planet, on the song Revolutionary Generation, at the end of the song, they play a sample of what sounds like a preacher. I don't know who he is, but the words he spoke at the end of that song are powerful, and they should resonate in the minds and souls of every woman out there. He said, the true worth of a race must be measured by the character of its woman.